Alright, I did South Africa. For what type of government exists, I said constitutional democracy and independent judiciary. The structures would be legislative, executive, and judicial. For choosing a government or a leader, I said a democratic election every 4 years. And then some of their individual rights is freedom of expression, freedom of religion, citizenship, freedom of movement and residence, healthcare, food, water, and social security. Also arrested, betrayed, and accused persons for either being shared or centralized. I said centralized. For the economic system, I said government controls parts of economy, yes, because through this they can satisfy the unlimited wants of the people that produce goods and services. The taxes, 28% of companies are taxable income. Individual taxpayers range from 18 to 40%. And the GDP it is based on manufacturing, services, mini and agriculture. For imports and exports, imports are like machinery, equipment, chemicals, scientific instruments, and food materials. For exports, it's gold, platinum, coal, and diamonds. And then for the median income, African Americans make up to 80% of population, only account for 41% of South Africans. For the Caucasians population, they make up 90% and account for 45%. For the international community, is to describe the community's relationship with the U.S. In January 2008-2009, President Malawi and Obama resolved the Zimbabwean crisis. This was a downfall on financial aid, and to get more detail, it was neglecting the partisan violence and human rights violations. To identify the allies and foes, I listed out who the allies were and who the foes were. For the geographic neighbors relationships, I also named a few down there. For United Nations, does the country belong to the United Nations? We said yes. In 1994, was readmitted following its transition into a democracy. Permanent mission of the South Africa to United Nations. And the international organizations is like the UNOMSA and the SADC. Those are listed too on the screen. To compare and contrast, government system is both had tribal leadership authorities. To contrast, strategic partners in the U.S. areas and the security and trade. Economy, to compare, was bilateral tax treaty, eliminating double taxation. Contrast, South Africa suffered from poverty. This was a money drain in South Africa. Their rights, to compare, was respect for the integrity of the person, including freedom. Contrast, South Africa believed in violence. U.S. did not want to use violence. For wealth, to compare, have the ability to learn, do housing, have schools, and healthcare. Contrast, schooling, home life, and surviving was a struggle for many of the South Africans. And who life is better? I said that the U.S. because their government is more structured and organized.